Hi there, Claudia from the We Garden Homestead here. Today is Saturday, March 4th. I just realized it's the first Saturday and we need to do a garden tour. So join me for a minute. I'm going to make this quick today because I've got to go to work. So let's see what we got going today. Come up to the gate, same as last time. To the right we've got, to the left we've got these nasturtiums, and they have taken off. They are crazy. They're a little wilted this afternoon. It's been hot and dry, but we're expecting a little bit of rain tomorrow and probably Monday. Behind those we've got some Texas, I can't remember. I got them at Walmart. They looked pretty good, so I threw them in there. I had that empty spot, so I threw them in there. And I don't know if you watched the garden tour from last week, but these tomatoes have gone wild. I'm sorry about the sun today. I got out here a little late. Last month when I did the first Saturday tour, I don't think that they were even up to these trellises, and now they are past them. We've had a lot of wind the last couple days and they've been breaking the strings, but they're still there. They are loaded with fruit. They have taken over that little eggplant that was down in there. It's still there, but I don't know. Oh, it's blooming, so hopefully, let's see if we can see that bloom coming out. It's blooming, so hopefully we'll get something out of it. These onions down here are doing famously. These, I think, are just about ready for me to pull, and the red ones are getting bigger too. So I'm not going to walk all the way through here because these tomatoes are spilling out into everything. These are Amish paste tomatoes. We are in zone 9B. They are flourishing at this time of year. We've only got just probably another couple months and they will burn off. It'll be too hot and humid for them to set fruit. So I didn't show you last time we were in here, but behind me I've got an avocado that I started from seed. I've got a dragon fruit that I nipped off from somewhere else and put in here because we've got them all over the yard. I've got another tomato. It was a big piece that broke off when we were tying them up, and I just stuck it in the dirt there, and it's doing really well. This is some more of those, what are they called? Red Creole onions, and these are starting to bulb up too. They look pretty good. I'm happy about that. They're just in a like a kitchen sink. We moved them. They were on the other side the last time, but we moved them over here to make room for what you'll see shortly. So I've got some seedlings down here. I've got Seminole pumpkins, and these are actually going in the ground tomorrow. It's supposed to be overcast and rainy tomorrow and Monday, so I want them to go in tomorrow morning when they won't have bright sunshine to wilt them. And then I've got okra, and that's probably going in tomorrow too. And then I've got some different kinds of melons right over here. So we're working on that. I probably pot those up before they go out into the yard. The rosemary is doing beautifully. And then we have some new additions over here. So this was covered with weeds, and I do need to finish pulling the weeds out of it, but it's just a big igloo cooler. We drilled a couple extra holes in. It was pretty well shot as far as using it for a cooler. It did really well last year with plants in it though, so I will be topping it off and using it again. Then we got these. We had a big hurricane back at the end of September, and a lot of people lost their fences. And there was a gentleman selling these. They're made from the professional grade fencing that blew down, and he cut them up and he made these. These are 18 inches deep. They're not filled yet, but we will be filling them. They're filled with like some cardboard and sticks and stuff, but nothing major yet. We're going to really start working on those. I've got a lot of seedlings that are probably going to go in there. So they are about 36 inches, I don't remember for sure, and 18 inches deep, 36 square and 18 inches deep. I got 3 of them. They were, I think they were $45 each, which to me was a good deal. They should last a very, very, very long time. So as we come around, I've got the salad table, which was watered this morning, but or the salad grill, which but it's still wilting, of course. Some cherry tomatoes, some more of those red Creole onions, mint, bee balm, some cherry tomatoes, and then these are all bush beefsteaks. I talked about them last time. This was just an afterthought. I saw the seeds and I went ahead and grabbed them. They're starting to flounder a little bit, but they don't owe me anything. We've gotten a lot of tomatoes off of them. Unfortunately, the worms have gotten a lot of tomatoes off of them too. That's how it goes. The broccoli is doing very well. We've harvested off of this a couple times, the big heads, and then we got a bunch of little heads I picked this morning. Probably at some point I will be pulling all those greens and canning them with either some smoked pork or probably with some smoked pork next time Salty smokes. The little pepper and onion bed back here has changed a little bit. I did pull out the big pepper here. It was not doing very well, and it did have root knot nematodes, so I guess they're in this bed too. But I left the ones that were still doing well. That one I pulled out and actually put in a pot for the 7-year-old to take home with her. This in the back is peach, Sugar Rush peach, and this one in the front here is Sugar Rush peach, and this one actually has a whole bunch of peppers on it already. So we're pretty tickled about that. Thank you, Becky, for introducing us to that. I did order the seeds because Becky at Acre Homestead was growing them and she said she liked them and figured I'd give it a try. We don't do a lot of hot peppers, but I figured, you know, a few here and there is very nice to have. Across the back of this bed, we still have the walking onions, the Texas Creole Reds, which are also just starting, a couple of them starting to bulb. You can see them back there. And then, of course, these were the Texas, yeah, if I could remember, Texas Super Sweet, 1015 Texas Super Sweet. And that is actually what I put in the other bed over there that I got at Walmart that I couldn't remember. These came from a grower in Texas, and I will post a link if I remember when the video goes up. So along here, more broccoli. This one has bolted. I'll just leave it go and see if I can get some seeds for next year. It's the only broccoli we're growing, so I know it'll grow true. But a couple more little heads coming up on these that I will pick, and then at some point I'll pull out all the leaves and can those. They taste just like collards. They're just as good as collards. I don't have a problem with doing that. A couple of sunflowers that came up on their own. One little eggplant down there that is just not doing very well. 2 cabbages left out here. The rest of them we picked. They're in the fridge or pickled, fermented. And these last couple are going to be coming out. This is where all those okras are going to go. And then as we come around, I've got a couple more. I got to turn my camera here a little bit. A couple more cabbages. These went in later. They're not as big yet. We've had a horrible time with the bugs. I've got a couple more broccoli coming up. Again, these went in later. And some more broccoli. And then I'm going to walk around so you can get a better view of this. Then I have, and I'm going to struggle to remember. I want to say a Trombachino, but it's not a Trombachino. Squash that I planted. I will look it up and I will have Salty put it in the description, or I'll put it in the description when the video goes up. But it is doing beautifully. It is wilting in this heat today, but it'll come back. We did water this morning and that will come back. It does have one little female blossom on it that I'm pretty excited about, right there. So we'll see how it does. This is the first time I've grown it. It said you could pick it for summer squash like a zucchini, or you could let it ripen and keep it like a winter squash, like a butternut. So we'll see how it does. I know we're coming into summer and it's going to be hot for it, but we'll see what happens. So that's it. Please pardon all the weeds. It's hard to get in here and trim. I pull some, but it's difficult. These nasturtiums have taken over, and I think they're just about done. They're starting to look a little wilty. They are full of seeds. And I don't know if anybody out there, I've heard that you can pickle them and make mock capers out of them. I don't know if anybody's done that. If you have, can you leave me a note and tell me how they came out and if you liked them? I know they're edible. The nasturtiums are edible. I throw them in salads sometimes. The leaves are edible. I love them. I'm just going to drop those because I'm not going to do anything with 3 seeds right now. But that's it for In the Big Garden. Let's check out what else we have going on. There's Mr. Mordecai chewing me out because I didn't throw any more tomatoes out to him. They have just been getting eaten. I know, buddy. They've just been getting eaten up by worms, and we have been putting them out for the chickens because once they're full of worms, I can't eat them. They may as well have them. They like the worms and the tomatoes, so that way they're not going to waste, turning wormy tomatoes into eggs. This beast is supposed to be a cherry tomato. This is a black cherry tomato. I've never seen them get bigger than this right here, and yet they are bigger than golf balls. Look at the size of these tomatoes coming off of here. That one's not ready yet, but I will be picking out here again tomorrow. I did pick some this morning. We've got some new twine coming because the jute twine has been breaking, but this guy will get tied up probably tomorrow or Monday. This is what I got going on. This is my garden tour. Let's see. Alrighty, that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me. That's what we have growing right now. I do have a bunch of seedlings coming up, some peppers that'll do well, a couple hots, a couple more sweets that'll go in those white beds. We'll see how we do with that. Thanks for joining me. I've got a couple more beds to get set up and filled, but I've got the seedlings coming for that, and hopefully I'll have seedlings ready by the time the beds are ready, or I'll have beds ready by the time the seedlings are ready. I'm not sure. Thanks for joining me on this garden tour, and we'll see you soon.